A few miles north of the Great Wall of China, two European mercenaries, William and Perrault, are on the run from a gang of horseback bandits. They release their horses as a distraction and hide in the rocks. That night, while discussing their mission to find the mysterious black powder, their two remaining companions are suddenly taken out by a strange, unseen creature. William discovers the bodies have vanished, then manages to kill the monster with Perrault's help. They take one of its severed claws as proof. The next morning, the bandits catch up, forcing the two to flee straight toward the Great Wall, where they're quickly surrounded by a massive Chinese army. With no way out, they surrender. Inside the command fortress, Commander Lin questions them. She reports that the monsters, called Dao Te, are attacking earlier than expected. William claims he killed one, but no one believes him until they see the strange green blood on his blade. Even then, Lin orders their execution. Before it can happen, alarms sound. The wall is under attack. The two are locked up, but on the way to the dungeon, they learn that the Dao Te come from a fallen meteor and attack every 60 years. With no time to waste, the soldiers drag William and Perrault up to the top of the wall. From there, they witness a breathtaking scene, thousands of soldiers preparing for war. When the creatures charge, the army launches flaming projectiles and arrows, while a unit of female soldiers in blue armor bungee off the wall to strike from above. The queen of the Dao Te appears, commanding her horde to climb. In the chaos, a young soldier named Pang is wounded, suddenly freed by a mysterious man named Ballard. William and Perrault rush in to help. William spears a monster through the mouth while Perrault finishes it off. The queen retreats, and Lin and her generals arrive. William and Perrault surrender, but they're praised for their bravery and given quarters in the barracks. Later, the stranger introduces himself as Ballard. He tells them he came to China 25 years ago seeking gunpowder too, but warns that finding it and escaping with it are two very different things. That night, William and Perrault are invited to a grand feast. The generals toast to their victory. One of them asks why William uses such a primitive bow. William insists his weapon is more capable than it looks. To prove it, he asks Perrault to hold up a cup, then turn around. William fires. One arrow knocks the cup into a pillar, the second pins it mid-air, and the third makes it hang perfectly still. The hall erupts in applause. The next day, Commander Lin shows William the leaping harnesses used in battle and challenges him to try. He hesitates, afraid of heights, but she teases him until he agrees. Before he jumps, Lin tells him that her soldiers don't fight for food or fortune, but for something greater than themselves, for faith and unity. William replies that he's only survived this long by trusting no one, and refuses to leap. Later, Ballard reveals the secret of gunpowder. He shows them the massive weapon stockpiles hidden within the wall and warns that there are some things here they're better off not seeing. Finally, he tells them the only way to escape with their lives, and the gunpowder, is to leave during the next big battle. In the next war council, William is questioned about a strange stone he carries. He says he just found it, but strategist Wang, the military advisor, notes that the stone might be useful. Curious, William asks where the Dao Te came from. Wang tells an ancient legend. Over 2,000 years ago, a greedy emperor's corruption brought misery to his people. As punishment, a green meteor crashed to Earth, forming a mountain from which the monsters emerge. Creatures born to remind mankind of the cost of greed. Every 60 years, the Dao Te return, devouring everything in their path. If they ever breach the wall, they'll reach the imperial city. The queen will feast, multiply, and unleash an unstoppable swarm. That night, William notices dead soldiers left uncollected on the wall. No one knows why, until a lone Dao Te suddenly begins hunting along the ramparts. Commander Lin and General Shao move in to kill it. They take down one creature, but another ambushes from behind. The general saves Lin, killing the second beast, but he's mortally wounded in the process. As he's carried away on a stretcher, Shao passes command of the Nameless Order to Lin with his dying breath. Later, the army mourns him. Soldiers stand in formation across the Great Wall, releasing thousands of glowing lanterns into the night sky, a haunting and beautiful farewell. At the next meeting, they discuss the magnetic stone William brought. Wang theorizes that it might disrupt the Dao Te's senses, explaining how William managed to kill one so easily. Lin asks how to prove it. William boldly suggests capturing a live monster for testing. The following morning, fog covers the mountains. The soldiers prepare a trap, coating their spears with a sleeping agent and waiting in silence. William sneaks away from his post just as one soldier is called off duty. Meanwhile, Ballard and Perrault make plans to escape during the chaos. Suddenly, the Dao Te strike, fast and silent. Lin orders an all-out counterattack. Massive blades unfold from the wall's surface, slicing through waves of beasts. The battle is brutal. William watches from above, torn between running and fighting. Ballard urges Perrault to leave, but Perrault refuses to abandon his friend, knowing William's archery might be their only hope. The soldiers struggle to restrain one of the monsters. William calls for everyone to stop pulling and wait for the tranquilizer to work. Then, he fires a flaming arrow to separate it from the pack. Lin hands him special arrows that whistle through the air to help him aim. He dives down on a chain line, arrows whizzing past, and hits the beast dead on. The tranquilized Dao Te collapses, and the troops begin hoisting it up, but another creature leaps at William from behind. He narrowly kills it, only for a second one to attack, until Perrault rushes in to save him. Together, they slay it, but realize fire alone can't stop the swarm. Thinking fast, William shoots a signal arrow into the sky. Lin orders the use of black powder. The explosion rocks the wall, hurling both of them backward. Soldiers rush in as massive gates close, sealing the battlefield. Later, William wakes up in the infirmary. Commander Lin sits beside him, saying Perrault is safe. She asks why he risked his life crossing the wall. William answers softly, "Because I believed." He looks down and notices black powder still stuck to his hand. Lin's face darkens. She says she wishes he'd never seen it, calling it a terrible weapon they hope never to use. She fears human greed will turn it into something far worse than the Dao Te themselves. Before leaving, she warns him, "Forget what you saw." Right after the battle, the captured Dao Te is surrounded by soldiers, spears pointed from every direction. Strategist Wang places the magnetic stone near the creature, and to everyone's shock, the once ferocious beast instantly becomes calm. The crowd is stunned, but William is even more surprised when he overhears someone saying the creature will be sent to the Imperial City. William argues they should study it right here, but he's told it's an Imperial order, there's no choice. The captured Dao Te is immediately transported away. Soon after, scouts report that the other Dao Te are on the move again. The army scrambles to prepare for battle. Meanwhile, Perrault and Ballard put their escape plan into motion. Ballard asks how Perrault knows William won't betray them. Perrault replies quietly, "I don't." Back in Ballard's quarters, the two men reveal a stash of black powder hidden in the walls. A few minutes later, William arrives, but finds only an empty room and a hole in the wall. They're gone. Elsewhere, Chinese soldiers explore deep beneath the wall, discovering a massive tunnel stretching toward the capital. Lin gathers her generals and concludes the terrifying truth: the Dao Te are tunneling straight toward the Imperial City. Desperate, they decide to deploy the experimental hot air balloons that have never been tested in real combat. Outside the wall, Ballard and Perrault reach the outer gate. They plant explosives on it, but nothing happens. As Perrault steps closer to check, the entire thing suddenly detonates, blasting both of them backward. Hearing the explosion, William rushes toward it with the young soldier he once saved. They find Ballard and Perrault in the armory, trying to make their getaway. The two plead with William to come with them, but he refuses, saying fighting is more important. Perrault insists they'll all die anyway, but William stands firm, "Then I'll die fighting." Before he can react, they knock him unconscious and flee. Meanwhile, in the Imperial City, the captured Dao Te is presented before the Emperor. The royal advisors discuss the strange magnetic stone, believing it could be the key to understanding the creatures, but they have no idea what's coming for them. William wakes up in chains, dragged before Commander Lin and the generals. He tries to explain what happened, but Lin won't listen. Furious, she says if she weren't a commander, she would kill him herself. Strategist Wang steps in, defending William and confirming that his story might be true. Lin orders William imprisoned again and sets off to chase the fugitives. On the run, Ballard betrays Perrault, stealing his horse and leaving him behind. Back at the wall, the hot air balloons are launched, but one after another, they catch fire and crash. From his cell, William watches helplessly as only one balloon manages to lift off, Lin's. Moments later, guards unlock his cell. With the plan in ruins and the Dao Te advancing toward the capital, they tell him, "You're free now, the world's about to end anyway." William asks where Commander Lin is. He looks up at the sky, seeing the last few balloons rising through the clouds. When asked if there's still any hope, Wang answers grimly, "Only if we kill the queen." Determined, William climbs aboard another balloon to chase after Lin, with Perrault, who has returned, joining him for one final mission. Meanwhile, far from the wall, Ballard's luck runs out. The same bandits who once chased William and Perrault catch him. They find his stash of black powder and start rummaging through it, until one clumsy thief drops a bag into the fire. The explosion obliterates the entire camp, taking Ballard with it. Meanwhile, the army reaches the imperial city, now overrun by countless Dao Te. Lin dives into the chaos but is thrown off her feet. William swoops in on a hot air balloon, pulling her to safety just in time. Armed with his spear, he fights alongside her as they fly over the city, dodging the monsters swarming below. Pang hands Lin a grenade. She hurls it at a nearby creature, obliterating it in a fiery explosion. Lin asks why William is here. She never ordered him released, but there's no time for explanations. They spot the queen, an absolutely terrifying sight. Landing, they're escorted to the emperor's palace. The emperor declares it's too late to stop the destruction, but William and Lin refuse to give up. If they kill the queen, they can end it all. Their plan: lure the captured Dao Te close to the queen, attach explosives, and detonate it at the perfect moment. They move through the underground tunnels, fending off attacks and rescuing soldiers along the way. Though some are injured, William checks on his friend, assuring him he's still alive, and presses forward. When the Dao Te discover them, the young soldier sacrifices himself, detonating a bomb to clear the path. William and Lin set the captured beast free, placing the magnetic stone in front of it. Slowly, they retreat. The monster awakens, ready to strike, but the magnet holds it back, forcing it toward the queen. They watch as it advances into the inner chamber. William and Lin climb the tower for a clear shot while Pang stays below, keeping the magnetic stone in place. They fire, but the queen's protective barrier deflects their attacks. Climbing higher, they're finally spotted. The queen commands her minions to assault the tower. Pang throws the magnet. Lin catches it but is killed instantly. William fires one last explosive shot, but it bounces off, enraging the queen further. With only one shot left, William and Lin leap from the tower, narrowly avoiding the attacking horde. William throws the magnet. Lin executes the final explosive shot. The queen swallows the explosive, attempting to stop the attack, but fails. She explodes violently, dead on the spot. From above, they watch as the Dao Te collapse like puppets with no queen to command them. Later, at the Great Wall, William finds Perot in chains. They joke around a little, and William reveals he was faced with a choice: take the black powder for himself or save his friend. He chose Perot. William unlocks the chains, leaving Perot stunned at the gesture. As they leave the wall, the two captured mercenaries are disarmed and escorted out. William glances back, catching Lin's gaze from atop the wall. Perot asks if he'd return. William smiles. Yes, but I can't be sure you'll make it home safely. And with that, the story ends.